Oh, crap! Uh-oh. Alright, wait a second. Wait a second. Ah, there we go. Sorry, I unplugged and plugged my webcam in sometime this week and it just messed everything up. Welcome everybody to the AD2L Champions League Grand Finals. This is it. This is the best of the best in AD2L going head-to-head in a best of 5 frickin' games to take home a prize pool of, I think, 110 bucks. Not a lot, but you know what? This is a run by the people for the people amateur league, so that's pretty damn good if you ask me. These teams are going to be duking it out here. Like I said, 5 games straight. Well, 5 games if they can hold on, but it's going to be an exciting one nonetheless. So we've got 10 players going. Everyone's loading in right now, and we'll be in the game very, very shortly. But I want to thank all of you guys for tuning in. I am so stoked to be getting this game going. Let's actually just pop over to my options menu really quick and get my microphone going so that people in Dota TV can hear me. Where do we open mic? Open mic.
10 seconds remaining.
Where is
5 seconds?
Is it just automatically
remaining.
open mic if you? Oh, interesting.
Radiant
Okay,
team
so
ban.
Reborn. That's some cool stuff, man. All right. Okay, I just want
Dire team
smooth drag
ban.
camera when spectating. I think that's all I need. And audio, we've got open mic going. All right. If people are in Dota TV and also in Twitch chat, can you please just let me know if you can hear me? I just want to confirm that. Maybe my stats person can actually confirm whether or not he can hear me in the client. That would be fantastic. But anyway, sorry, kept the webcam on me this whole time. Let's get into the game. The draft is going as you can hear in the background. Sorry for the unprofessionalism. This Reborn client is really throwing me for a spin. But let's do this. Best of 5 Senix versus ASDF Dota here on the AD2L.
10 seconds remaining.
There we go. Everything is a mess
5
today.
seconds remaining.
Everything is a mess.
Dire
Alright, so first stage of the bands, we've got Storm Spirit, Leshrac, Gyrocopter, and the good old Bounty Hunter all banned out here.
Radiant team pick.
Can you hear me in game? Just want to make sure that my voice is being carried through here. Would not want any unfortunate crap popping up. Really trying to make sure this works. I haven't casted the game on Reborn yet. I've played a bunch, haven't casted any. But, oh. Alright, so Stats Guy's audio just completely cut out, so he can't offer me anything here.
Radiant team pick.
Winter
Wyvern. We good? We good?
Dire
You can hear me?
team pick.
You can hear me. Alright. Cool. So hopefully everyone in Dota TV can hear me then if my voice is getting transmitted through the game. Just wanted to make sure that the open mic option was working. But anyways, so back to the draft. We've missed quite a bit here as the teams have already kicked things off, gotten their first couple picks going, and Tusk is going to be the first pickup by Senix, really valuing that nice and aggressive offlaner. Lena and Winter Wyvern are going to be the first 2 picks by ASDF, and I don't blame them one bit. Lena is potent as all hell, and in the wise words of Eternal Envy, she counters heroes, she counters creeps, she counters buildings, she counters everything. Lena is OP, and I mean, it's easy to see why. She's got a magic immunity piercing, almost 1000 damage nuke if she can get that Aghanim Scepter up and running, and everything else in her kit's ridiculous. She's got movement speed, she's got attack speed, she's got damage, she's both physical, pure, and magical. She's got stun, she's got everything. She's good. So Winter Wyvern to combo with that means somebody can be locked down while Lena just wails away on him, which is absolutely beautiful as well. That Winter's Curse can be really good against these kind of safe and mobile heroes like the Tusk and the Queen of Pain. So it'll be very difficult for Senix to play the game they want to play without getting you know, BKBs, 4 staffs, etc. to kind of keep them safe and moving around the team fight while ASDF tries to lock them down. But there is quite a bit of burst damage here as well, and the initiation power from Senix is really strong at the moment. I mean, if Tusk plus anything is initiation. I mean, throw any support in there with a stun, and that snowball can very quickly turn into a very ugly team fight. But ASDF is going to make sure that the Undying doesn't come out in the next phase, going to avoid that Tusk Undying offlane combo, which is incredibly potent. You stick those two heroes together, and your chances at messing up the safe lane, something fierce, are pretty huge. Senix Esports opting to ban out the Earthshaker and the Anti-Mage, so they're going to get rid of those. The Anti-Mage, I can kind of see that. They don't have a lot of lockdown right now, which means Anti-Mage is going to be, like, would be free to blink around the map at his leisure. And of course, Winter Wyvern always there to save him if he does get into trouble. So that would have been a very ugly pick for them. And as well, the Earthshaker. Earthshaker just works really well with these two heroes. I mean, it's a setup stun for Lina. It's an Echo Slam on top of the Wyvern ulti. You just get a lot of AoE, you get a lot of stuns, you get a lot of lockdown, and it's really good against these heroes like Queen of Pain and Tusk. So that's going to be banned out as well, and we're looking towards the 4th ban for ASDF. I'm not sure if this stands for Indonesia, if they're a foreign team or something, but I don't know. But they're going to be looking for their 4th pickup here, and or their 4th ban rather. We'll see what it is. You know, the enemy team's kind of missing their tri-lane right now, so you might want to opt towards supports that you're less inclined to want to deal with, but they do go for the Phantom Lancer. I think they actually have a pretty decent team for dealing with the Phantom Lancer. The Lina's got a lot of AoE, the Winter Wyvern always has the Winter's Curse, and of course those Ice Shards that can break apart a lot of those illusions, but just not feeling like dealing with the Phantom Lancer today, and it's understandable. He's a very strong hero, and if you let him get off to a good start, then he can quickly kind of get out of control. So he's going to get banned out here, and the teams are going to have to get a little bit creative with their carries. I mean, we've seen quite a bit of Luna picked up lately. Gyrocopter obviously not in the pool either, so having Gyro, Anti-Mage, and PL, I think those are the 3 most picked carries or one positions this patch, or not this patch, but in this kind of current state of the meta. But Darkseer is going to be the first pickup for ASDF, so they want to take that with the Wyvern, get that sick combo, the Wyvern ulti into the vacuum. Just make sure you disable as many people as possible so the AoE potential continues to grow down on ASDF's side. And Senix is going to have to find a way to deal with that. And I'm thinking a Clockwork right here. Clockwork looks really good with their lineup. Now, that would mean they'd have to put the Tusk in either kind of a 4-position role, whether that means he's in the off lane helping out with the Clockwork, or if he's in a support role ganking around with another hero. But either way, I think Clock works really well with their lineup, but whether or not they want to do that is another question, because like I said, they do have to shift around that Tusk a little bit, make him you know, put him into a position that maybe they don't want to put him in. If they prioritize that Tusk getting items a little more, then they obviously will not be picking the Clockwork, and will instead go for 2 other supports. But instead they go for the Rubik, and I really like this idea. I mean, it's just smart thinking here. If the other team is starting to get so much AoE that you can't deal with it, so many big spells that you can't out-big spell them by picking more stuff, you just pick the Rubik, and suddenly all of the enemy's big spells are yours as well. So it's a good way to turn it back around, and if this Rubik plays well, he will have a grand old time here, grabbing that, you know, Wyvern ulti is relatively easy to steal, just because Wyvern has a pretty high cooldown on most of her abilities. I think... Oh, actually, Splinter Blast is only 7 seconds. I thought it was a little bit longer than that. I thought it was like 12 or 13. But yeah, Arctic Burn is a pretty huge cooldown, and so is Cold Embrace. So if the Winter's Curse goes off and the Splinter Blast is off cooldown, even if Rubik is caught in the Winter's Curse, there's a good chance he'll be able to steal it afterwards. So that's something to keep an eye out for, as well the Darkseer wall and stuff too. I mean, Darkseer usually places the wall and then vacuums into it, but you know, if he changes that combo at all, if he just lays down the wall because he's got vacuum on cooldown, etc., whatever, Rubik might be able to snatch that, and that could turn fights around in a really big way as well. I mean, getting a Wall of Replica illusion against Lina especially can be really ugly. The Ember Spirit is going to be the pickup for ASDF, though, and this is a hero that I really like, because he's not traditionally considered an AoE hero, but just because of the way he builds, when he gets that Battle Fury and he has that Slate of Fist, he basically becomes an AoE hero. He starts dishing out a lot of damage with his spells and being able to hit a huge portion of a team fight all at once. And so having that Ember on the field is going to be really good if ASDF can get those big, you know, AoE team fights that I've been talking about this whole draft. You get that vacuum, you get the Winter's Curse, you get a Lina stun on top of it, you get whatever else, and then the Ember can just clean it up. So I really like the way that this draft is looking. However, I think this is going to be a safe lane Ember Spirit, which because I haven't seen Lina being played in a support role all that much lately. It's definitely possible for her to be played support, and you know, they could rotate her down there and then put the Ember Spirit mid, but I think the way it's looking right now, the Lina's probably going to face off against the Queen of Pain mid, because she does fairly well against Queen of Pain, and then the Ember Spirit will take up that safe lane, and we'll be looking for one more support from ASDF. They ban out the Crystal Maiden to avoid that coming out from Senix, and I really like the idea behind that there. The Queen of Pain is a very high mana hero. If she has that mana regen, she's going to perform really well, and on top of that, you have the Frostbite combo with the Juggernaut. I mean, between the Rubik Telekinesis, the Crystal Maiden Frostbite, and the Juggernaut Spin, you'd be doing a lot of damage to any potential offlaner that gets caught there. Obviously, namely the Darkseer. If Darkseer got caught, he'd get thrown back, he'd get frostbitten up, and there's not much he can do about it from there. Surge is not going to save him in that scenario. So Witch Doctor banned out by Senix. They're thinking along the same lines that I am, that ASDF is going to be looking for another support here, and I'm curious to see what it is. Now, I think Senix is out of the realm of possibility for an aggro tri-lane. So if ASDF wants to go for something a little greedier, perhaps an Enigma or a Sand King, or something to just kind of take up that jungle area and get themselves a lot of gold and just get really really aggressive in the mid game, that's always a possibility. So look out for that in this next pick. We'll see what it is, but I don't know if they want to go for the Enigma with the Rubik on the field, but maybe something that can abuse the jungle, be a little bit greedier. I like the idea of the Sand King here. You know, I would have said Crystal Maiden had they not just banned it, because Crystal Maiden obviously has jungling potential in and of herself. But, yeah, we'll see what they go. They've got 10 seconds left here. They burnt out a little bit more of their reserve time than anyone else. So they're going to go with the Dazzle. Okay, so going a lot more defensive than I imagined, and just going to cater to that safe lane. Going to make sure that the Ember Spirit is always safe and sound. However, this does leave their gank potential pretty darn weak. They don't have any true stuns to lock down that Queen of Pain, so Guap should be safe in pretty much any and all mid circumstances. I mean, even in the event of a smoke gank or something, as long as they don't, you know, curse her or something, she should be able to just blink away. And I really like this Disruptor pick here from Senix. It's a really smart pick. They can always glimpse back into the Juggernaut Spin that we talked about earlier, so you kind of have that lockdown for the off lane. It works really good against the Darkseer. If he tries to run away, if he tries to surge, you just glimpse him back. And as well, the Ember Spirit and the Lina, I mean, these are two heroes that if they get caught in the ulti of Disruptor, they're very squishy and can get brought down really quickly by the Queen of Pain. So good thinking on that draft. I really like the way this draft is shaping up. However, they are pretty low on early game damage. A lot of their damage is going to come from the Queen of Pain's Scream and the Juggernaut Spin. The Tusk doesn't have a ton until he gets Walrus Punch, and of course the Queen of you know, the Jug needs a while to farm. The Queen of Pain obviously needs a level 6 and whatnot. So the early levels might be a little difficult for Senix here, but if they can get online, if they can get to the 20-30 minute mark without anything going too horribly wrong, I think that's where they're going to hit their stride. So let's actually turn off all of the announcers and whatnot. I forgot about that, but we got the ceremonial 1-minute pause here in the good old game of Dota 2. I mean, you always got to expect it. Second game starts, everyone pauses, takes a moment to breathe. There we go. Let's turn that off so that this isn't sitting up here. Cool. So it looks like we're ready to go. As I said before, I am Cptn.Canuck, and joining me is going to be An Elevator from Standard Deviant Stats. He's going to be providing you with the stat pop-ups throughout the course of the game, so say hi to him in chat, and of course our Twitters will be up there later, so you can throw a wonderful word of encouragement and love to both of us later on in this game. Anyways, let's get talking about the game. I sincerely apologize if my camera work seems a little sloppy. I just discovered how to use the smooth drag properly, but it's inverted from what I'm used to. I'm very used to middle clicking and then going in the opposite direction. So if I end up being a little bit messy, my apologies. I will try to do as well as I can with that throughout the course of the series. But let's introduce the teams and get things underway here. We've got Rilk going to be taking the Dazzle down here for Team ASDF. Yellow Swag Rico going to be playing the Lina. We've got Santa at NASA on the Winter Wyvern. Oh, wait. Oh, this is Eleanor. This is Yellow Swag Rico. Okay, I got names mixed up. Well, not really mixed up. They both have it in their names, but they're They're goofing with me, man. They're goofing with me. And then over here on the offlane, we're going to have God's Hand on the Darkseer. Over on the other side of the board on Senix.DOTA, we're going to have Cora Y going to be taking up that Queen of Pain. Looks like she's actually going offlane. Aiko going to be playing the Tusk, and looks like he's going mid. Tusk mid, yes! Fox on the Juggernaut, and we're going to have Worse playing the Rubik, and Surf on the Disruptor. Now, my massive scream of delight here came out from this wonderful Tusk mid. I have lobbied for this for so long. I've told my team it's legit. I've been so in love with Tusk mid for such a long time. He's such a great mid hero, and no one seems to believe me. Everyone thinks it's crap, and I don't care what they think. This hero is amazing. And you want to know why? Because the Q is just enough of a good stunt. It's comparable to, you know, phase shift ethereal Puck's orb, Puck's Q. It's illusory orb. There we go. I went through like 3 of Puck's other abilities before I got that going. But yeah, it's comparable in damage, and you know, Tusk doesn't get a lot of last hits in this lane, but what he does do is he just kind of chips out the other mid hero, and when he gets his level 6, which comes pretty quickly because of the mid lane, once he gets his level 6, he just goes for a snowball ride onto the enemy mid laner, and he punches the crap out of him, and everything ends up happy. So I'm really liking this. I'm going to keep an eye on this mid lane throughout the course of this game, and I'm going to be so happy if this works out. But anyways, down on the bottom lane, we're going to have that Queen of Pain playing the offlane role. I'm not exactly sure why they wanted to go for this bit of a switch-up, because traditionally you see Queen of Pain considered to be a mid-hero, and you see Tusk going to the offlane. And, of course, this matchup is not entirely favorable for Tusk. I mean, I talked about the benefits of a Tusk mid, but there's also the downside of being a strength hero with not a ton of HP at low levels, and Lina, of course, one of the most dominant mid-heroes in the meta right now, so it's something that Aiko's going to have to be very, very careful of as he plays this game. He's going to have his bottle now, which means he's going to be a little bit safer, and I mean, we'll probably see a Bottle Crow coming out once he gets that. Just send the bottle straight back to base, because this is going to be a rough lane without it. But anyways, down in the bottom lane, we've got that Ember Spirit playing the one position. See, there we go. I'm going in the opposite direction I want to, and camera work a little bit sloppy, but I'll adjust, I promise. But Wyvern standing guard, making sure that the Queen of Pain does not get anywhere near where she wants to, and she is staying at that level 1, despite having 100 experience points, despite having a little bit of extra farm. But they're going to glimpse back God's Hand up here on the top lane, but he's just going to continue to walk away. They don't have enough damage to be able to bring down that tanky Darkseer. And he does have boots, so he walks away a little bit faster than he would otherwise. Not going for a stout shield or a ring of protection or anything like that early on. Just going for the boots, making sure that he's nice and mobile, and then he can't get caught out in these early engagements. But he's going to be looking for top rune. And he does grab the bounty. Now, Tusk is going to go for a long snowball here, and they get the shards. This could be disastrous. Do they have a glimpse? No, it is on cooldown because they just used it. So I don't think they're going to be able to get God's Hand. The Tusk is going to continue to chase. No, maybe he's not. All right. Not going to throw out those shards quite yet. If he had, that might have been ugly for the Darkseer, but he would have had to dive really far in. I mean, the Tusk would have had to chase probably down to here before it was back off cooldown again. And anyways, mid lane, Invis Rune on the Wyvern is going to turn this into a really a quick engagement here, but quick thinking on the Tusk. Gets him a snowball on a close creep, and the enemies walk away expecting to drag him back with them, and instead he gets out because of it. But no bottle charges, he's going to be forced back to base, and Rubik's going to sit on mid and take some of the XP. And on bottom lane, Ember having a pretty awesome farm right now. He is sitting at 18 and 7 in terms of last hits, top of the board, whereas his counterpart, the Juggernaut, is having a little bit harder time against the Ion Shell. He's going at 16 for 2, so not exactly on the ball with Ember, but still pretty damn close, so he's doing all right. Darkseer's doing his best to keep close to this wave, keep those Ion Shells going, but he is still only level 2, despite having 4 last hits to his name and doing all right in terms of, you know, just kind of Well, actually, I was going to say he was doing alright with dealing with the Juggernaut, but Jug has picked himself up a first item Morbid Mask, which means that he's got more than enough sustain to live through the Ion Shell. I mean, if he just gets a couple good crits, he is back in all of the health that he's going to lose here. I mean, look, he's just sustaining his health against the Ion Shell, and as long as they can continue to keep the Darkseer back out of the lane and keep this Ion Shell at a relatively low level, Juggernaut's going to be just fine up there. Anyways, top lane, they're going to rotate 3 up here for this rune. They want to make sure that at all costs Tusk get that rune. And he's got only level 4, so I don't think he's going to be 6 before that double damage rune pops on its own, which is really unfortunate, because if you can catch that DD with the level 6 Tusk, things start to get really ugly. I mean, you're talking like 600 damage in one single punch there, and things start to get a little bit ridiculous. But Eleanor going to grab the bounty rune bottom, refill her bottle, and then head back towards mid. Queen of Pain still level 1 down on bottom lane, being really scared to move forward. And oh, look at this beautiful ward placement over here. I think they realized that early on Korra was given a sentry ward, and seeing that he had that, made sure that their ward was off to the side where it couldn't be spotted, and sure enough, this sentry ward goes down and completely misses it. Korra trying to get close, but the Wyvern is hunting her, and you know, Queen of Pain gets level 2. Throws a dagger, but, you know, still getting zoned by the Wyvern, who is level 3 in her home. Of course, she can just turn this right back around. Gets the slow. There's a blink from the Queen of Pain, so she'll get out of this, but takes a good chunk of damage. And Wyvern, no, not much worse for wear, as she's going to heal up with her either. And this is dangerous. I mean, you've got a support that's a higher level than the enemy offlane. I mean, if I was this Queen of Pain at this point, I would just give up completely on trying to get any last hits and instead just blink into a set of trees. Like, if you just go right in here, I don't know if there's room in these trees. I think there is right here. But if you go in there, or even just blink down into these trees, and just try to keep yourself within experience range with that blink, you know, I think you fare a lot better in this lane. I mean, she's only got one last hit anyways, so don't try for the last hits. Just try to get the XP. You can do that with a hero like Bop. There's not too many heroes that you can do that with. Otherwise, though, not a lot that can get into those trees undetected and hide in those tricky places, so something you gotta remember. Dazzle, still only, well, actually, level 2, holding a point for now. Gonna wait and see if he needs that for if a grave, or if he can go offensive with that. But gonna stack this up, so there's a nice fat camp there for the Lina whenever she wants. Down on bottom, I'm missing the engagement here, but Ember Spirit just does not care about this gank. The Disruptor comes down to help out the Queen of Pain, and Yolo Swagrico just says, you know what, screw you guys, I'm going, and jumps in, gets 2 kills, and this is a beautiful lane for the Ember Spirit already. He's got himself 47 last hits, top of the board, and on top of that, he's got himself 2 kills as well. Didn't have to share the experience for those kills too, which actually means quite a lot more than you'd expect. On the top lane, we got the Juggernaut with the Rubik, looking like they might want to start pushing here a little bit, realizing that there's action on the other side of the map. They're going to move in, take a couple chunks out of this tower, but there is a TP up here from Zelina, so she's ready to go. She does have a, oh, there we go, yeah, Light Strike Array lands, and the Laguna Blade will follow. There goes the Juggernaut, 3-0 is the kill score here in this game.
Thank you.
Tusk now sitting on that level 6, and no kills, no ganks yet to his name, but I'm actually surprised that he is pretty much tied for Lina in last hits. She picks up a couple more on the top lane, but 32-29 is not all that bad for Tusk, and now he's roaming up towards the top lane. There was not a word to spot this, and this fight is going to break out. Opening up with the punch on the Lina, trying to pull her back, and no, there is no Shallow Grave in time to keep her alive, and Juggernaut goes for the Omni Slash, gets the Dazzle as well, so 2 kills picked up on the top lane. Meanwhile, down on bottom, Queen of Pain finds herself caught out by the Ember Spirit, so Ember rocking this lane once again, and sitting at a really healthy 3 kills, 56 CS, and a bottle and phase boots, and a bracer to his name. Rich little Ember Spirit. Will he be able to continue this trend? I think he might. There's not a lot of CC on the enemy team, and a lot of it relies on that Disruptor getting in range for that glimpse, and he's only level 2, so, or well, level 2 glimpse, rather, so it's going to be hard for him to get those ideal plays out on the Ember Spirit. Lina beelining it straight for a Eul Scepter, not bothering to complete boots or anything of the kind, not going Aghanims, instead going straight for the Euls, trying to get those pickoffs, making sure that they can lock down some of those scarier heroes. Obviously, that Eul's combo doesn't work too well against the Juggernaut, but it's great against the Quap, it's great against the Disruptor, great against the Rubik. Tusk can get out if he has a target, doesn't have to turn immediately, but for the most part, you can usually catch a Tusk with that as well. Down on bottom, we've got the Ember Spirit looking for another dive, and wow, actually, he does not have Sleight of Fist. I thought he would have had a value point in Sleight of Fist to be able to get all those kills. It's hard to get on the it's hard to get on the Queen of Pain without that little bit of a short jump to get the chains off him. Eiko on the top lane finds himself a Dazzle and goes on a punching spree. It beats the crap out of the Dazzle on the top lane and runs out with the Haste Rune. So finds himself a kill, and Senix keeping it close, 4-3 to kill total.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Eiko smoking up with Surf here in the mid lane, looking to see if they can maybe find somebody out here. The Lina, she is in danger zone, and they're going to go for it. Snowball lands, and there's the punch. No mana for Laguna Blade, so even if she gets that stun, yeah, there's no follow-up. And Eiko looking to try to run out of here, but the Ember Spirit doing work and gets... Oh, what? No, the Glimpse was on the Disruptor, or on the Disruptor. The Glimpse was on the Dazzle and not on the Ember Spirit, and that, I think, cost Tusk his life there. So Tusk dies, and meanwhile, we see the Winter Wyvern up on top lane getting jumped by the Juggernaut. Was that another Omni Slash? It was indeed. So Omni Slash getting used to bring down that Wyvern, and of course, she really has no escape for that. Actually, she totally does. Interesting. Yeah, so the Cold Embrace will save you from the Winter Curse. Up on top here, got an engagement breaking out as the Ember Spirit looks for the Juggernaut, but Juggernaut looks content to sit and fight. I don't know if he's wise to be doing that, and he's just trying to juke his way out of this one. He uses a Magic Wand Charge, but does end up getting changed up in the end. There we go, the Tusk going for 2. He catches one. Oh, they get the Glimpse on to the Ember Spirit. He's got no mana to get out of this one. He's got a Wand Charge in a few seconds here, and maybe a bottle to help him escape, but oh, he gets caught into the trees. Oh my god, beautiful ice shards there to hold him in. The Wyvern trying to keep him safe, but I don't know if it's going to last for long. Actually, the Tusk goes for a dive, knowing that, wow, they can get more out of that engagement than he expected. And he chases down the Wyvern while the rest of his team finishes off the Ember Spirit. Beautiful plays there, and they even up the kills total at 8-8. What a bloody game. Tripping all over my words here. There's so much stuff happening. Down on bottom, Fox looking for a deny on his tower here, and just waiting for that siege creep to tick it out once more, and indeed he does get the deny. So one tower down in this game so far, and it's on Senix's side, and it is a deny. So things still holding close in that regard. If we were to pop over to the net worth charts, I'm sure it would be really, really even at this point. I'm not going to do that, but we'll check in on it later. Queen of Pain trying to get herself a little bit of experience and maybe some gold up on the top lane. Working towards her power charge right now. She is level 6, so she's got the experience to help out in some of these fights if she needs to. But right now she is suffering for items. I mean, no bottle, a magic stick. Actually, wait. Yeah, magic stick, not wand. I always get them confused. And working on power treads right now. So this is a sad Queen of Pain, but she will have safe lane farm for a little bit here. Darkseer looking like he might want to interrupt it a little bit, but he's not going to be able to do all that much. Yellow Swagger goes Drums of Endurance at 9:49. We're 3 minutes 45 seconds ahead of the average pro play. So quick and easy. Find a kill up on the Darkseer here. That's just a snowball and a handful of auto attacks, and that's all they need. Ember Spirit going for a jump into the enemy jungle, but the Dazzle will get the heal bomb in on that Rubik, and that's going to be a kill for Dazzle. Eul Scepter goes out on Tusk. They're going to land the stun to follow it up, and there goes the Laguna Blade. Tusk going to go for a snowball. Will he be able to find anybody? Oh, goes on the Dazzle. I thought that was going on the Lina, but punch goes out. The Grave is there to keep the Dazzle alive. No TP out, though, and it looks like Juggernaut will be able to finish him off as soon as that Grave goes down. Now Jug trying to run away from this. Can he ever chase it? He's looking for it, and he does indeed. Burns him out with the shield, and the Tusk will be the only member to survive that on the side of Senix. Meanwhile, Dazzle has gone down on ASDF. So another kill, well, a kill advantage being gained by ASDF, but throughout the course of this game, those have historically not been too reliable. They very quickly evaporate. So Yeah, Ember Spirit quick drums, I mean, he's been playing out of his mind, like I said. Despite that one death that he had, he is 8-1-1, so absolutely huge in terms of well, gold and experience at this point, as he's sitting at level 11 with his level 2 ultimate. And you know, a lot of people have not been skilling Ember Spirit's ultimate at level 11. You know, they just feel like it's better used as an escape tool. But we've seen time and time again in this game, Yellow Swagger making sure, oh, he gets glimpsed back to base. That's not fun. Actually, if he was really on his game there, he would have just thrown a remnant down so that he could zip back to it. But doesn't think of that quick enough and ends up having to take a long walk. But yeah, the Ember Spirit this game has used his ulti quite a few times for damage, just to kind of get in on somebody, just chucking out 3 of those illusions, or 3 of the remnants rather, and just throwing himself at the enemy heroes. And it's worked out for him so far. He's been playing really aggressive and getting a lot for it. So you know, I don't disapprove of skilling the ultimate at 11, not one bit. Juggernaut sitting on a Mask of Madness right now. He's 3-3-1, so not an insanely great record, but you know, it's good enough to carry him through. And well, he's definitely hoping that he finds some kills in the next few minutes to kind of keep this game rolling in, well, get it back rolling in Senix's favor. I think, oh, big fight going to break out here, though. Winter's Curse goes out on 3. There's the vacuum as well. Oh, but the snowball save is good, and here comes the Juggernaut. The ulti is down from the Disruptor as well. The Queen of Pain, or the Rubik has been the first one to fall here. Queen of Pain throws out an ultimate, but it only catches 1. Now Ember Spirit trying to run away. He doesn't have any remnants, though, so if the Juggernaut can catch up to him, that's going to be it. Tusk is looking for kills, but kind of juke him back in and out of the trees here, and Juggernaut is going to be deflected. The Tusk goes back into the fight, finds a kill onto the Dazzle, and that is going to be a 2-for-2 exchange so far, with the supports having been the first casualties. But Eleanor looks like he might be in trouble here. Oh no! Turns it back around with the Light Strike Array Laguna Blade and gets himself a kill on the Juggernaut. So we saw completely even trade that fight. 2 supports and 1 core on either side of the field. Beautifully played there by the Lina at the last second, realizing she wasn't going to get away, goes for the stun, and ends up finding herself a kill because of it. Absolutely frenetic fight with everybody jumping everywhere, but it all opened up with that beautiful combo, the Winter's Curse, straight into the vacuum, but Tusk was there to turn it all around. The snowball was really what changed that fight in ASDF's favor. He's actually, sorry, in Senix's favor. You know, they got caught out from behind, but thankfully they got saved from the brunt of the damage with that snowball, and using that they were able to turn things right back around and open up on that Wyvern, the Dazzle, and eventually the Luna. Rubik holding on to Searing Chains right now. Obviously no mobility to really get him in close to use that ability, so it's not a great one for Rubik, but you know, there's a lot of other great ones that he could steal on this board. You know, anything he can get from Lina is always always nice and welcome. Like I said, we talked about stealing the Wyvern ulti earlier on, and you know, there's a lot of other good things, especially like even the Darkseer Surge. Like, it's a really low mana cost ability that helps your mobility out a lot as a Rubik. I mean, you can just use that on cooldown to get yourself around the map nice and quick. And, definitely something that Rubik would appreciate grabbing, but Searing Chain's not great for him at the moment. Yeah, see a comment about Darkseer having the most CS in the game, and indeed he does. He's been playing really well, and I think a lot of this is just you know, attributed to the fact that Disruptor had to leave the lane to look around and look around for spots to help on the map. I mean, he kind of roamed mid, didn't really do much for him, just kind of helped out in deflecting one gank, and then eventually went down to bottom, ended up dying to that Ember Spirit. And because he was out of the lane so much, it gave Darkseer a lot of room to just move forward and drop those Ion Shells and make sure that he's getting those CS, and he's certainly done exactly that. He's been playing really well, making sure, and I mean, look at this. He knows he's facing a lot of pressure, so he double Ion Shells at the wave, and it clears the wave out. It's completely gone, and there's no pressure left to be had. And you know, the entire team smoked up behind him. ASDF looking for a fight. They're ready to go. And let's get the zoom out here so we can see the initiation. And there we go. They see Fox first. He's going to go for an Omni Slash, but he doesn't get it off before the Winter's Curse comes out, and he is just going to evaporate. Looking over the trees for worse, and they're going to find him. There's the Laguna Blade into the follow-up from the Ember Spirit, and that is 2 quick kills by ASDF. Beautiful play there, getting 4 heroes smoked up, and the second they saw saw somebody, they went for it. Now, it was actually a really awkward fight there. As I saw the Juggernaut, he saw it coming, he went to go for the Omni Slash, and right as he did, he, like, I think he was facing this way, and he had to turn, and the time it took for him to turn from here to facing here was enough for the Winter's Curse to go off, and that was it. Once the Winter's Curse hit, he was just dead. Mid lane, we're going to go for a fight here as the Disruptor ulti is down. They're looking for Yolo Swagrico. Can they bring him down? They do indeed. That is a large bounty of gold going the way of the Queen of Pain. And can they continue anything on this? I don't think so. They don't. Oh, there we go. Ice Shard's going to catch one out. They're going to telekinesis back, but there's no follow-up damage to speak of, and the Queen of Pain just doesn't have the mana to make a fight out of this. And they're going to look for it, and they get the Light Strike array. Queen of Pain is going to go down, overextends just a little too far, and the LSA hits. We're going to have a pause here, perhaps. A little bit of lag or something? Oh, phone? Okay. Alright, well, while we are having this very short break here, I'm going to run and fill up my glass of water here, because my throat is starting to go already, and if we got 5 games coming, I need to make sure I'm hydrated. I'll be right back, friends. Alright, I am back. Marvelous, marvelous. Got my beautiful, sexy Dota TI water bottle all filled up to the brim with delicious, delicious H2O, so my throat will survive and we will go on. Alright, and right back in time. Let's do it. Game going, and I think much needed break there. Much needed Wata break. Looks like the Tusk is going to be hitting straight for a Black King bar, and you know, I really like this idea against this team. I mean, ASDF has so much magical damage in fights, and you know, there's just like you're gonna get caught by the Wyvern ulti. I think Wyvern ulti pierces magic community. Yeah, it does. So that's unfortunate, and of course there's always the Laguna Blade, but there's so many little combos that you need to make sure that you're safe from. The Lina Yule Scepter into Light Strike Array, you can't always get out of that with a Snowball, but you can always get out of it with a Black King bar. Same with the Ember Spirit. If he jumps on you, pretty much anything he can do to you, aside from obviously auto attacks with that and Sleight of Fist, he can't touch you with the Black King bar up. So good thought there, and you know, of course that'll keep him safe from vacuum and stuff, which is a big deal in a lot of these fights. So I really like the idea of the BKB first, and we'll see that coming out from him as soon as he can farm that up. What's he got on the courier? Oh, Mithril Armor. Oh, he's got the whole thing already. Damn, I only saw the one component, but yeah, that is done. So Tusk actually doing quite a bit better than I expected, but well, actually, I expected the Tusk mid to rock this game, but first items for Quap: Orchid Malevolence in 35.8% of games, Aghanim Scepter 29, Yules for 10%, and Black King bar at about 8%. So yeah, I think the Yules makes a little bit more sense when you're going for this flame build. She has a lot less farm, and the Yules is such a value item. So despite the popular vote going towards the Orchid, which I actually think would have been a great pickup this game, it's just not an item that she could have realistically expected to have soon enough to deal with the heroes like Lina and the Emperor. And of course, it always leaves you so squishy. I mean, obviously Yules doesn't give you any health, but it gives you survivability, which the Orchid just straight up doesn't. So I think Quap made a good choice this game, and hell, we might even see her go into an Orchid still. You know, it's just so good against the Ember Spirit and the Lina in kind. So they're going to be looking for this fight up here on top lane, but ASDF, they look like they're ready to defend. They've got 5 heroes here, ready to go. There goes the Fortify. Ember looking for some chains, not going to find it. Oh, 2 wards getting dropped here, and it's within range of the tower. That's really unfortunate. You lose 2 of your obs up there, And that's actually going to leave Senix blind for quite a while. Yeah, that's just straight up unfortunate. Black King Bar is up on the tusk though, so for this fight, they are going to have that little bit of extra disruption in each of these fights. Now, I think they saw the Wyvern going for that Shadow Amulet there, but they can't do anything about it. They're actually just going to leave, and instead hop over to their other lanes, which are slowly starting to push. Actually, mid is pushing in their favor, but bottom lane was definitely starting to chip away at their tower, and you can see that Siege Creep has gotten the tower down by about 500 HP, so I think good choice to kind of back up, take it easy, and look for a fight another day. Top lane, ASDF has seen all the TPs away, and instead they just opt to go straight up top, knowing that there's not really much for that Senix can do to get back up here. I mean, no one has TPs on cooldown, and you know, Senix realizes this themselves, and instead they're going to go for a trade for bottom. But can they really make this trade? I mean, they're just now getting creeps in range of the tier 1 tower, and ASDF is already inside their base, chipping away at this tier 3. Now, Tusk is the first one to TP back. Second one is going to be Queen of Pain, but I don't know if anybody else has TPs. The Rubik does. Juggernaut does. Oh, Juggernaut's just came off the cooldown, and Disruptor is off cooldown. So they could have fought top if they wanted, but what? How did they get that glimpse? Oh, I see. Never mind. He TP'd down to bottom lane, and the Disruptor glimpsed him from there. And Disruptor obviously, is going to TP out right after that. So I'm kind of all over the place. I thought Darkseer was TPing out from up here, and got glimpsed back from this area, but it was down from bottom. So I missed that whole engagement because I was thinking in completely backwards terms, but. Anyway, Darkseer now sitting on a Blink Dagger. Got that mechanism as well, so we might see him. Can you disassemble Tranquils? I think you can. Yeah. I don't know if you can disassemble Tranks. Either way, he'll probably want to get Guardian Greaves at some point during this game, just because they're so good on his hero. But they're going to move in towards mid now, having successfully, well, thwarted off the threat at bottom. They did lose their tier 1 eventually, but you know, they kind of shooed the heroes out of that zone, force everyone back to base, and they're going to use that momentum to go mid and take the tier 1 tower there. So a lot of tower gold coming in towards ASDF right now, and we're going to see that start to pay off as the supports grab themselves some items. We'll get over to that in a second, but fight's starting to break out here, and the Rubik is getting chased down over towards his tier 2 tower there. Yola Swaggerco gets a great slight into chains there, and the Rubik is going to be the first to fall in this tentative engagement, and looks like they're just going to move straight in towards the tier 2 tower. Juggernaut is up on top, looking to maybe make a trade, and I think he actually can with the healing ward up. Actually, Queen of Pain gets caught. What is she doing back there? Looking to maybe snipe the courier or something, but gets caught out by the Eul Scepter, and that's going to be the end of her. Didn't actually Eul's after the Lina Eul's, which is really odd. I mean, that Eul's keeps you safe from Lina's Eul's just because of the way that works. But Fox is going to TP back home there, and they have nothing to keep him from doing that. So gets a good amount of chip damage out on this tower, about 600 damage worth, and mid fight breaking out as Eiko goes in onto the Winter Wyvern, but of course she just flies right over those ice shards. Gets the Winter's Curse, and is she actually going to get out of this? The Wyvern looking like she's going to escape, and she does indeed. They catch the Tusk and the Disruptor, and wow, I think the magic resistance from the Glimmer Cape was all that really kept her alive there. Just the amount of damage reduction she got was the difference in her health at the end of that all, and getting that Cold Embrace out at the end just kept her living long enough that they were able to bring some people up and get that fight. So beautifully executed there by ASDF, and they are looking really, really scary now as that Ember Spirit is sitting on 10 kills, only 2 deaths to his name, and he has a Battle Fury. Almost all of the outer towers, save for this one at bottom, are gone on the Dire side. So Senix is really going to have to start turtling up and making sure that everything in their jungle is safe if they want to venture into it. But, you know, the world is ASDF's oyster right now. They can go anywhere, they can do anything, and, you know, if they find pickups with that Eul's, with the Ember Spirit, anything, they can just go to high ground when they feel like it. Roshan obviously also available. So, whoa, what are they? Thunderhide's just going for a jog, I guess. on his treadmill. Let's check out the net worth charts instead of the last hits, as that's obviously a little bit more indicative of where we are in this game so far. The Ember Spirit is sitting at 12k net worth, top of the charts. Juggernaut surprisingly right behind him, having farmed really well despite only having 3 kills to his name. He's got 200 CS on the board. Lena has got herself 10k net worth and has picked up that Aghanim Scepter. We saw that only moments ago when I was clicking on her. We've got the Tusk sitting right behind him at 10,000. He's got himself a Black King Bar, a set of drums, and we'll be looking for his next item now. I'm not sure what that's going to be. Perhaps a Silver Edge? I really like the Shadowblade Silver Edge build on the Tusk. It works really well for him, but whether or not he feels that that is necessary in this game is another question entirely. But we'll see as the game progresses. Darkseer, who is at one point the top CS in the charts, is falling behind a little bit, but he's still doing really well for himself. Obviously, he has that mech and the Blink Dagger. We talked about that earlier, and the Ultimate Orb to boot. So it looks like he's probably going towards either a Lincoln Sphere or a Sheepstick at this point. I think it's probably going to be the Sheepstick. I don't... yeah, Lincoln's doesn't block all that much this game. It blocks Rubik's spells and Quap Dagger and Glimpse, which, yeah. So I'm pretty sure that is going to be a Sheep. And I mean, if we look at the net worth and the XP graph, you can see it spiking up over the last little bit here as ASDF has started to assert themselves, looking at about a 7,500 gold advantage in terms of net worth, and about the same in terms of XP. But that's going to spike down a little bit further down as Senix just grabbed themselves a nice sneaky Roshan, and the Aegis will be going over to the Juggernaut. So Jug's starting to look a little bit scarier as he's sitting on 3,600 gold, a Aegis to boot, and Sanyasha Mask of Madness. So what's he going to go for here? He grabs an Eagle Song, so he wants to go straight for a Butterfly, and I think this is a really smart call. Ember Spirit doesn't want to go for an MKB, and if he does, it's going to be it's not going to be until much later. So they've got that evasion, they've got the damage out on the Juggernaut, and well, they will once I finish that Butterfly up. But this smoke is going to run headlong into a bunch of members of ASDF. Can they do what they need to here, though? They're looking for the Darkseer, and he survives long enough to get himself a surge away with that mechanism, and he will fall in the end as the Juggernaut goes for the Omni Slash. But the fight's breaking out on the other side here. The Ember Spirit's looking for the Queen Pain, does end up getting her down. 2 down on either side right now, but Worst is looking like he's in a lot of trouble as the Ember chases him down. Snowball going for the Ember Spirit. He's looking to jump away to that Remnant. It's on the other side of the cliff, but they know exactly where it is. And there we go. The Tusk going to clean up the Ember Spirit. He's out of mana. Looks like Wyvern will also escape, teleports away in the tree. So actually, Senix gets a much better engagement than I thought they would. They catch out the Ember at the end, which was the big thing. If the Ember was able to get a TP away at the end of that fight, things would have been probably dead even in terms of trades, but Senix trades themselves their 2 supports and a single core for 2 supports, and well, actually 1 support and 3 cores of ASDF. So definitely a worthwhile exchange in their favor, and didn't ever offer me a fight recap up here, but if it had, I'm sure it would say very good things in the favor of Senix. Now, Aegis was not lost either, which means that this Juggernaut is going to be primed and ready to go for the next fight as soon as the rest of his team is back up. If we look back over towards the charts that we were looking at only moments ago, they both swung back down to about 2,500 in both XP and gold. So ASDF still have to fight for this victory if they want. Oh, if they want it, excuse me. Lena got herself boots of travel right now, and that soul ring tells me that she's going for a bloodstone right now. Not entirely sure if Lena's a hero that needs a bloodstone, but it does get really nice in the ultra late game if you can keep those charges maintained at relatively high charges. Your respawn time is going to be very significantly reduced for the latter portion of the game, which means that you know, Lena's going to be able to contribute a lot more to this game than she would otherwise. Butterfly now finished up on the Juggernaut, and as soon as they finish that, they smoke up. There's 2 minutes left until this Aegis is reclaimed, so that's just enough time to walk across the map, get in a fight, and hopefully lose the Aegis and use it to good effect. And obviously you just don't want to lose it straight up, but they're going to find Yolis Magriko here, and there we go. The Disruptor ulti goes down instantly, so he cannot jump away, and that is a kill worth getting. Now they're going to start pushing in on the mid tower, and I think this tier 2 is not long for this world. They're Queen of Pain goes back to clear out the wave. Well, they cut the next one, and they're going to move forward nice and aggressively towards this tier 2 tower. Whether or not they commit to this push, we will have to see, but it looks like they probably will. Juggernaut not with the push right now. He spotted out the bottom lane and wanted to go deal with that, but instead they're just going to go for this tier 2 tower. But they may end up losing a tier 2 themselves, as Lina realizes no one is coming back for this, so she moves forward, keeps those fiery soul charges up, and she's going to start chipping away at that. Now tier 2 mid has gone down, so they're going to continue on to high ground. They don't care. They know the Ember's down for another 15 seconds at least, and he is the biggest source of damage on Team ASDF right now. So they want to go, they want to get aggressive right now, and they want to use this Aegis. Omni Slash goes out from the Juggernaut. He finds himself a kill on the Wyvern, but God's Hand prevented from dying with that cold embrace. But 2 heroes going down right away. Wyvern buys back, but actually she does have the ultimate ready to go if she wants to use it. And she's going to use it here on the Juggernaut, but he's got the ultimate and he's looking to spend it. There we go. Oh, not the ultimate. Sorry, he's got the Aegis. And he uses it to great effect there. Now the Tusk standing up front, kind of disrupting the front lines as the Juggernaut comes back into this fight. He is respawned. They're looking for the Lina, but they're not quite able to bring her down as she's being healed up. And Shallow Grave, but there she goes. Eventually the Lina dies. She's got buyback if she needs it, and it looks like she is going to use it. Chasing down the Dazzle now is the Juggernaut. He's looking for it, but there we go. Oh man, the Glimmer Cape was about to keep the Dazzle safe, but the dust goes out. And looks like this push might be deflected as Senix realize they might be a little bit in over their heads, and they start moving back out of this fight. So clean disengage there. I think they lost a couple of heroes during that engagement, but they used the Aegis effectively, and they got up there, they killed themselves a tower, and although they didn't get racks, they did cause a lot of economic damage to ASDF. I think there was 2 buybacks there, and you can see this reflected in the net worth right now. I mean, Juggernaut's sitting up at 17,000, and he has gained a 4K advantage on the next closest member of the enemy team, which is the Ember Spirit, and of course the Lina following thereafter. So we see these graphs, and they have spiked all the way down into the red. So Senix is happy with what they've gotten there, and they are looking strong in this game. If they can secure themselves the next Roche, this game could start to look really, really daunting for ASDF. They're smoked up though. They know they want to make a counterplay, and they're ready to do it. Their lanes are pushed out. They're looking for blood, but Senix senses this. They're staying inside their base. They're not farming anything, and they're not going anywhere. They're actually going to send the healing ward out to scout, and you know, very intelligent plays there. They knew that ASDF was off the map, and actually they did have a ward right here. I'm not sure if this spotted the smoke. I'd have to go back and check. Maybe the statsman can fill me in if he saw it, but this is a really good ward for spotting out potential smokes as the enemy leaves the base, and you know, sure enough, they don't fall for it. They get back in their base, they're nice and safe, and Senix is going to be on the defensive for now, but I think they're more than capable of holding. Ace picked up by Darkseer, like he needs it, but whatever. He's going to go back to farming, throws an Iron Shell on the Ember to hopefully steal some of his CS. Now the Ember Spirit has gone for a Black King Bar, realizing he needs that in these fights, and you know, it's a sad day for an Ember when he has to go for a BKB. Quite often you'll see Embers go for a Lincoln Sphere or something. It gives them a little bit of stats, gives them a little bit of damage, and kind of keeps them safe from those single-use spells like the Glimpse that can really mess you up, but you know, Yola Swagger starting to realize that there's a lot more happening in these fights than just a glimpse. You know, he's getting caught out by the Disruptor's ulti, he's getting caught out by, you know, a Rubik Telekinesis, the damage from the Queen of Pain, etc. And so he's going to go for the Black King Bar to try to negate some of that. Swap got her Aghanim Scepter now, though, so she's going to be dealing damage through the ultimate, and actually, that's, her ulti always goes through Black King Bar. I always forget. There's weird interaction with Lina and Quap, like they both kind of have similar spells, do different things with Aghanims. We can have a smoke up here soon. Disruptor has a smoke, but I think they're just kind of posturing up for Roshan now. They know it must be up soon, but we've got a 2-minute and 46-second respawn on the Roshan after those 8 minutes are up. So we are 14 seconds short of the full duration. So it's going to take a nice long time before that Roshan comes up. So Senix might be sitting around there, camping it out, knowing it might be soon, but that could turn out to be wasted time. as there is not going to be a monster for another couple minutes. Excuse me, sorry, water went down the wrong pipe here. Gotta pause, bit of a lag spike. Interesting stat there, Juggernaut's win rate seems to go up and then down as the game goes later, but he is a very strong late game carry just because of the way his kit is built. I mean, you've got that built-in passive crit, and of course 2 spells that basically keep you alive in very dangerous situations. So Jug, a great carry for the late game, but does he out-carry the Ember Lina is the question here. I mean, Lina has a lot of ability to just blow him up with that Laguna Blade, and of course the Ember is just... He's known for being a hero that can make such great use of insane amounts of gold, and I mean, if we ever see him get to that kind of 6-slotted point where he's got himself a Daedalus, a Battle Fury, maybe a second Battle Fury and or Daedalus, or a Monkey King Bar, or something of the sort, he is going to start doing work on this field. Tusk is going to be picking himself up a Lotus Orb here. I really like that pickup. There's a lot of single target spells that you really want to deflect in this game, namely the Winter's Curse. That is the biggest one, since it's a big AoE ability, but it is single targeted, which means you can turn it back around with a well, you can prevent it with the Lincoln Sphere, or you can deflect it backwards with the Lotus Orb. And I really like the Lotus Orb on Tusk. It just gives him a lot of things he needs. It gives him regen, it gives him armor, and you know, of course, that defensive capability to get in and out of fights. It's fantastic against a lot of other things too. I mean, we got the Lina Laguna Blade, you know, even Poison Touch. It's a small thing, but it's you know, it's potent. I mean, if you see that coming in, it's a slow projectile, so you can activate that Lotus Orb, deflect it back to the Dazzle, and Dazzle gets stuck walking around like a turtle for the entire fight. So, you know, just little things. And there's also a Sheep Stick on the side of Darkseer as well, so if he sheeps the wrong target, he could end up a little bit of a piggy himself. Double damage picked up by Tusk. He is raring and ready to go. Going to check that Roche Pit, but... Wait, what? What's that Roshan clock right now? What the heck? The Roshan clock's weird. It like wasn't moving. But Roshan is up, and it has been spotted by the Dire right now, and they've got pretty good ward coverage here. However, this ward is going to spot out most of the river. It spotted everybody kind of walking around in that area, but it's not going to see the entrance to the pit, which is important because it's going to mean that they can't quite tell if their enemies are going down here and then back up, or, you know, just going down straight through here, or what. So Roshan goes down quick, right in time for a big engagement to break out. The Ember Spirit goes past the cores and looking for that Rubik, but Rubik is leading him on a wild goose chase. Has a, has a Glimmer Cave, might be able to make it out, but not the case, as Queen of Pain is going to be the one to buyback here, looking for that Ember Spirit, and does get the Euls off, so I'd say that buyback is worth it so far. Can they find the Ember and lock him down? They blink over the cliff, they see him, he does not have another Remnant, he is going to go down, so the Queen of Pain gets back into that fight to make sure that the Ember drops, and I think that was totally worth it. They get the Aegis, they get 3 heroes, and they only lose a support plus a core and a buyback. So, you know, the gold change is not huge because of the Queen of Pain having to buy back. The XP swing, you can see it's almost, well, it's well over 2K in the favor of Senix.DOTA as well. I mean, we got to talk about the momentum here. I mean, there's no buyback on Darkseer, no buyback on Ember Spirit, and you've got an Aegis on a Juggernaut who just picked up a Scotty. He is going to cream your towers, and I mean, we see this. Like, I don't know why Core isn't just wailing away on these racks. I mean, sure, the Lina's right there, but you got the Eul Scepter to kind of keep you safe, and they're going to go for the Lina, spotting it out. That's what? What? I saw the deny, like, I think you guys must have seen that too. The little exclamation mark pop up from the deny, but it didn't happen. Their fight's going to break out here as the Darkseer is back and ready to fight, and they're just looking to finish out these racks here. Fox standing right up front. He doesn't care what they do to him. They cannot bring him down, and even if they can, he's got an Aegis left to go. The Ember Spirit is back up, and they're going to back out without going to him here. I think Their backline is a little bit too low. Oh no, Fox wants to go more, and I appreciate the ambition. I really like to see this aggression here. But, alright, they're having second thoughts. I crit out on Fox, and he drops a little bit too low to want to continue, and they're going to back up for now. Oh, there we go. They're waiting for the healing ward. So healing ward comes up. Once everybody's back and ready to go, they'll jump in on the spawning tower. I think they're ready, happy, and good to go. Creep wave disappears relatively quickly, and they continue up onto this high ground. No, not quite. They know that ASDF doesn't have cooldowns right now, and that's really important. I mean, there's no Wall of Replica, there's no Winter's Curse, and there's no Weave, and they saw all those abilities used. I mean, the Weave, actually, the Weave is actively on them right now, but they know it'll be gone as soon as it's worn off, and I think the second the Weave drops, they're going to go up on this high ground. And yeah, oh, alright. Fox kind of had the same idea as me. He was like, alright, Weave's off, let's go, and he ran up there and then realized he didn't have a creep wave, and was like, maybe not. Turned back around. But maybe this way. I keep saying this way if they'll go, this way if they'll go. But now, I think this one, they've got the siege creep. They know that the abilities are on cooldown. There's another Weave, but it'll be low at the start because Dazzle's got to wait for that to ramp up, obviously. So no, they just escort the wave in and they walk away. Alright. Senix not comfortable. They're going to fight another day. And we're gonna have another Lotus Orb here up on the Queen of Pain. They really want to double down on these Lotus Orbs, make sure that they are completely safe from any of this single target crap. But they are going to run into a little bit of that single target crap that I just mentioned as the Sheep Stick goes out onto the Disruptor. They get a decent kinetic field there, but Static Storm a little bit slow, but they get the Ember Spirit, and there we go, the Winter's Curse onto the Lotus Orb. That's what they were looking for, and this fight is going to go the way of Senix. Hands down, they're looking for that Winter Wyvern. Will they be able to find them? Yeah, Wyvern's not going anywhere. Lena's still sitting up on the high ground. Will they find Lena as well? Yeah, she's going to look for Laguna. I don't know why she didn't try to walk away from that, but Lena is dead, and they're going to call the GG. That is it. That fight was just one too many, and Senix take themselves game number 1. What? Oh, he stole Winter's Curse. Okay, so not only was there a deflected Winter's Curse from the Lotus Orb, but Winter's Curse was stolen by Rubik. So that could have been an absolute disaster. That was basically a Winter's Curse with Refresher if they wanted to use it. So super well played by Senix Esports. I'm actually very impressed with how they pulled that game out because they were facing a monster in Yolo Swagriko's Ember Spirit. I mean, he played so well early on, got himself a double kill when he was ganked, and just had been completely untouched in the early game. But, you know, Senix banded together, they used their abilities to absolute maximum efficiency, and they made sure that their Juggernaut got farm. I mean, Juggernaut was rarely there for some of those early fights that they lost, but he was always getting something for it. He was always getting a lot of farm, he was getting a big wave, he was pushing a tower, he was doing something, and we saw it come online. I mean, the second he got that Butterfly, they got the first Aegis, that was really it. The second they got that Aegis was the turning point because it allowed them to be so aggressive, and Senix was not able to adapt to it. They had built aggressively, they were ready to play aggressively, they were going on Senix all game, and then it just got turned around on them and they couldn't deal with it. A couple deaths on Yolo Swagriko, and that was it. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. We're going to have a very, very short break while we get the lobby set up, but we're going to be heading into game number 2 in this best of 5 series here in the AD2L. This is the Champions League Grand Finals, Senix.DOTA versus Team ASDF. I'm Cptn.Canuck, guys. We will be back in just a few minutes.